Good evening, YouTube. Skwerel here, coming at you with a Let's Play of Dwarf Fortress. Today we're going to be going through our embarkation, picking out a site, and setting up our initial dwarves. So let's just get right to it. I'm just going to show you here in the Lazy Noob pack. I am using the most recent version as of the date of this recording, which is May 4th, 2017. As far as settings goes, I'm leaving everything on the options page at their defaults. For graphics, I am using the Space Fox graphics pack in text will be text mode. I have liquid depth turned on, varied ground turned off. The varied ground thing is just to make it a little easier to see on the recording. We're using the Curses font set and the Space Fox other graphics tile set. I am using SoundSense for the extra added sounds. I've turned down the sound in the game just a little bit, just so we have the background music. You can probably hear that kind of tickling faintly in the back. Lovely guitar music. Intro movie's off. I have the resolution just set to my record resolution. All of the saves are turned on, as well as the pausing on saves, and I'm not using any of the DF hack plugins for this particular playthrough. So just before we get started here, so you are aware, I do very much enjoy Dwarf Fortress, but it has been about a year and a half since I've played it, and by no means do I claim to be very good at it. So I will probably fail quite frequently, and hopefully you'll enjoy failing along with me, or at least watching me fail spectacularly. So we're going to jump right into it with world creation here. So we are creating a new world. We are going to be using, let's go for a medium world size. Smaller does generate faster, but you do run into issues with that where essentially it becomes very difficult to find a site to play with. I actually did try starting this once before with the smaller world size generation, and it was just a complete fail. I wasn't able to find any sites that were suitable. So yeah, we're going to use medium history, so it's 250 years worth of stuff, medium amount of civilizations. Let's turn up the max number of sites to high. That is going to make it take a little bit longer to generate, but that's okay. We're going to have number of beasts and savagery at medium, and we are turning mineral occurrence up to frequent. And with that, let's get going. Okay, so it's going through. It's creating a new region. One has been rejected so far. It's going through and putting in the terrain features. So the elevation, temperature, and rivers have already been set. Now it's just adding in lakes and minerals. And this is counting down. All right. So now the game's going to jump around a little bit. Looks like we have the map created. So now what the game is doing is it is creating civilizations, placing them on the map, and you can see them interacting with each other as they go here. Looks like we have some necromancy going on up here in the north. That should be terribly, terribly, terribly exciting. Looks like we've got some dwarfy stuff down here in the north, or in the southeast. So yeah, we are in the Age of Myth and the year 88, 89. There are 13,000 historical figures that have been generated so far, 75,000 events. These are things like civilizations invading other civilizations. There's every single person that it generates has ambitions, and they go about imposing their ambitions on everyone else around them. Kings are risen and brought low, etc., etc. Some of the legends do get very interesting. Dwarf Fortress generates an enormous amount of lore and history for your world. Obviously, because this is a bit of a larger map, there's going to be a lot more going on as far as the histories go, but that just makes it a little more interesting, in my opinion. So we are at year 120, and we did set the thing to generate 250 years worth of history. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to pause the video and come back when the world is finished generating, and then we will go about finding a suitable site for us to play with. So I will be right back with you in a moment. And through the magic of the internet, we're back. Hopefully, you weren't waiting too long there. That took about 15 minutes on this end to put this world together. So we're just going to take it and go. Has to export all of the stuff that it generated. While it's doing that, I'm just going to, real quick, let you know I am currently recovering from some pretty bad allergies. That season just hit in my area. So if I accidentally cough or sniffle or grunt or anything like that at you, I do apologize. I'm going to try to mute and avoid as much of that as I can. But I do have a compressor on here, so hopefully it'll keep that from blowing your eardrums out if I do accidentally have a coughing fit. Saving coin information. Well, it's very possible that I jumped the gun on being ready to go. So just to let you know kind of what I have in mind for this fortress, we're going to be looking for a place that has deep metals for sure. Some place with a river, some place with some measure of forests. And Orsamata is our fortress here. We're going to be playing Dwarf Fortress mode. Loading up the world. So what I plan to do with this embark is I'm not going to take a whole lot of trade skills. I'm just going to be doing here. Looks like we're going through the calendar, updating the world. This might take a minute or two. That's fine. So yeah, I'm going to be I'm not taking very many trade skills from the start. The goal really is to take enough stuff to be able to survive until the first migrant wave hits and the first set of merchants show up. And once that happens, then we're going to have a look at what resources we have available. We're going to look at what sort of skills we got in the migrant wave, and then decide what we're going to do with industry from there. So the goal is by the time the first set of merchants shows up, we want to get some initial stuff built out. We definitely want to have some farming going. I want to start churning out traps. We're going to be relying on traps for defense for probably quite some time. And I want to get a hospital going as well. And then I'm going to be starting on just some stone crafting for some initial trading. And one of the things that we're doing here is I'm not actually going to be taking any anvils from the start, which frees up a lot of points that we can use to bring other things. So we are going to go with a 3x3 for our starting location. A medium climate. Elevation, don't really care about. I would like low evil and medium savagery. And if we end up doing these and the game can't find a suitable location for us, then we will change some of these options back just to get a better search field for us. So medium temperature, we're going for a fluxstone layer for metal crafting. We do not want to deal with an aquifer. Like I said, I'm a noob, and aquifers are royal pain in the butt. We do want a river. I want to maybe build a moat or some such thing in front of my fort. I think that'd be pretty cool. Don't really care about shallow metals, but I do definitely want multiple deep metals. And we'll just search with those and see what it comes up with. We may end up having to change that savagery setting. That sometimes does cause issues. Not seeing any green X's so far, so it's not yet found any places that are going to work for us. So what we have here is on the far right-hand side, we have a map of the entire world that's been generated. On the left, we have the region that this map is zoomed in on. You can see the cursor right here is zoomed on this little continent, which is zoomed out here. And then on the far right, we just have a super zoomed in look at the local area that we're dealing with. Okay, so looking to see if we have any possible hits. Looks like we do have some suitable sites, so let's look at the results. It might actually just be the one that it's found. Ooh, scorching temperature. That's not great. Okay, so we've got this little blinking green X here on the world map. That's the only place that it found that met all of our requirements. So that would be this area here. We have sparse trees. The surroundings are mirthful. Okay. Let's just take a look at... Do we want to set up in a desert? Looks like we have some woodlands here. Let's just have a look up here. Do you like the sound of that woodlands? That sounds about what we're looking for. So there's two different biomes on this local map. The first one is the Mire of Rifts, which is this little area here. That's the woodland. It's a marsh, and then we have the swamps of fading. You know, I'm not really too pleased with that set, so we are going to we're gonna try to do the search thing again here, and we're gonna turn off some of these settings. So we're gonna turn the temperature setting off, and we're gonna turn the savagery search off. So now we're just looking for Fluxstone, Aquifer, River, Deep Metals with low evil. See what we got there. That's gonna obviously return quite a few more hits. I'd prefer something where we have some sort of elevation change rather than just flatlands. Doesn't seem to me that dwarves would be hanging out in the flatlands. That's not really their thing. I'd prefer something with maybe even a bit of hill on it, or some sort of mountain that we can dig into. But we'll see what we get here. Looks like we've got a few more options on this search. Okay, so several suitable sites were found here. Looks like... Sometimes I lose track of the cursor. Okay, there we are. Oh, right. Whoops. Okay, so now we're browsing the results. What do we have here? We have conifer forest. We have a side of a mountain. No trees there, though. We definitely need some trees. This conifer forest might not be too bad, though. Let's see what we have over here. Looks like there's a spot by the sea. And when you're using any of the cursor interactions here, holding down Shift will let you move 10 spaces at a time. So we got sand desert, more sand desert. I'm not too excited about setting up in the desert. Let's have a look at these again. So we have a mountainside with some trees. Yeah. Wait a minute, what's going on here? Just realized our area is set up kind of weird. Oh, I know what happened there. Okay, so we want the 3x3. Okay, there we go. Yeah, that's what happened. I was pushing buttons and didn't realize that I was changing the site size, so it was messing with me. See, now there's a ton more sites. Sorry. It sometimes takes a little bit for me to remember how the interface works. north. Okay. So I'm thinking we want to kind of avoid this area here that is on the border of the desert and the mountains. Up in here might not be too bad, or somewhere around this mountain wouldn't be bad either. Looks like we have a ton of possible sites now, though. So let's have a look and see what we can find. And I'm not going to make that mistake again. So we're browsing the results. Okay. Tropical savanna. Let's not go for that. Vales, untamed wilds. Like we've got a brook in there. Tamed wilds, untamed wilds. What's on this side of this mountain? Is that grass? I think that's grassland. Yeah. I don't want prairies. Tropical savanna. We have, yeah, untamed wilds. The Curious Fingers. Okay, interesting. That's a single biome area there. Let's see if we can't get something that's it's got a little bit of mountainy stuff going on here. Looks like we got 2 biomes here. We've got, ooh, this is actually, this might be a good spot for us. Let's remember that one. So we've got a little bit of mountain. We've got just a little tiniest bit of river. I'd like to not have to move the river that far to get up to our spot, but we can deal with it if we have to. Let's see. Let's check out these areas along the foothills here. Woodland with some mountain. Actually, I like that a lot better. Okay, so the mountain obviously is not going to have any trees. That's fine, but it's only taking up a small corner of our area here. This cavernous hills, we got temperate shrubland, untamed wilds, trees, moderate vegetation. There's a brook that goes through there. We do have goblins for neighbors, so we're going to have to keep that in mind, make sure that we have our preparations made up, but we're not too terribly close to them, it looks like. We've got a couple options here for our civilization. And as you go through these, you can actually see highlighted on the map here in blue, that's where that civilization is set up. So the Twinkling Castle is over here. The Dagger of Squashing is on this little island to the south. We have the Merchant of Consideration, which I'm not seeing. Oh, okay, those are over here in the desert to the west, and then the Waxy Armor, which is also over there. So we're going to be pretty far removed from any of our allies, just kind of settling on the edge. I think it makes most sense for us to be from this Twinkling Castle because they could have come, migrated through here. Dwarves and boats don't really mix well, so I don't think we'd be coming up from the island, and it's quite a long journey from the desert up to the mountains here. So we're going to go with this spot. I think this is our place. This is the Everlasting Realms on the Rainy Land. Just checking our elevation and whatnot here to see what we're dealing with. Looks like we got some cliffs. Oh, yeah. Okay. Let's do it. E for embark. We are going to prepare for the journey carefully. So when you first go into this this interface here, this is going to be it's going to have some default stuff picked for you. If you go over to items, you can see so we've got an iron anvil in there, we've got some axes, we've got some cloth and some crutches and some wheelbarrows, and all that sort of stuff. We're going to have a look at our doors first, though. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7 dwarves, as is the norm. I'm just going to look at what we've got here. And I'm just having a look here at their attributes. Very slow to tire, susceptible to disease. Quick to heal, like sandstone, aluminum level. Has an iron will. and very good focus, but has an iffy sense for music, poor creativity, and very low linguistic ability. That's art. This particular one has good intuition and intellect. Okay, but questionable spatial senses. Okay, that's Doran. Gatton has focus and willpower. Looks like he might be a good candidate for a minor. Creativity and memory. Interesting. Okay, she might end up being our mason. Let's see what else we got. Tough but clumsy. Has a way with words, ability to read emotions very well, and good spatial sense, but poor focus, poor ability to understand or manage social relationships, and little patience. Interesting, okay. Great ability to focus, great sense of empathy, amazing memory, and good creativity. Little linguistic ability, bad intuition. Willpower and spatial sense, shortage of patience. Okay, so what we're going to be doing here, let's see, which one was this? This is the iron will and very good focus. So we are going to make Ast Gamelodum. She is going to be our one of our miners. Let's have a look here. Do this. Okay, so let's give her proficient miner. We have good intuition and intellect. But questionable patience and clumsy, aesthetic. Okay. Focus and willpower. See, willpower is very, very good for miners. Creativity, memory. This was the one we were going to make our mason. So Lolor Erythtalin. Whoops. You are going to be a proficient mason. Way with words. Reads emotions, spatial sense. So this is a very weird set of skills. So good with words, good at reading emotions, but bad at understanding social relationships. It's kind of a weird set there. Amazing memory and good creativity, but little linguistic ability. Very bad intuition. Let's see, willpower, good spatial sense. Okay, so Gatton is going to be our other miner. Intuition and intellect. Questionable spatial sense. Intuition and intellect. Let's make you... We're going to make you an appraiser. If I can find where that is. Appraiser. Second page, maybe? Here we go. Going to be an adequate appraiser. Okay. Good spatial sense, words. This Stukos is not going to be good for a whole lot, so we're going to make her a carpenter. Or woodcutter, rather. Focus, empathy, memory, and creativity. Do we already have... We already have a good mason. Creativity and memory, yeah. Okay, so I believe this one's going to end up being our... Let's see, we have one miner, we have two miners. Okay, this guy's going to be our carpenter. And what else do I want? I want a farmer. or a grower specifically, which is down here. Okay, so I have 2 miners. I have okay. You are also going to be our mechanic. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. All right, so we have a miner. We have a mechanic slash appraiser. We have a second miner. We have a mason. He's going to be doing our rock crafts. We have a woodcutter, get us some starting wood. Carpenter for making beds, boxes, bins, that sort of thing. And a grower. Okay, so I think that's going to be good for skills. We do still have a lot of skill points that we could allocate, but I prefer to have those points available for picking up some extra items. So we're definitely going to need the 2 copper picks. We only need 1 copper battle axe, so we're going to drop that down. That's going to give us another 60 points there. And like I said, we're not going to take the anvil. We're also going to not take the splints. Those are pretty easy to make. Or the crutches. Or the quiver. Quiver. We don't have a quiver. That's a little unusual. Usually they give you... Oh, right there. QVRS. Okay, so that gives us 400 points to play with. So that's gonna be pretty good. So first we're gonna grab some dogs here. So we're gonna grab a male and a female dog, and we're also gonna grab a male and a female cat. Now that could set us up for trouble with a cat explosion, but I have no issues butchering cats. As my cat sits on the ground looking up at me like, what? What are you doing? That's that's a cat for you. Alright, so I would also like let's see, we could do chickens, or do we want chickens? Do we want peacocks, or do we want turkeys? Let's just go with chickens. I think that'll be fine. So we're gonna take a rooster, oops, and we're gonna take 5 hens. That should be enough to get us started with some production there. And then we're going to, let's see. We're going to need to get some more stuff here. So, so if with your cursor over on the right-hand side, if you hit N for new, it takes you to the menu where you can start scrolling through and looking at stuff. Let's see what we have here. We've got some plump helmet. We've got some pigtail, sweet pods and cave wheat, rock nuts, and dimple cups. So we have a lot of stuff there. We have 15 chopped llama liver. We're going to take that down to 11. Same thing with actually those pond turtles. That's fine. Okay, so what we're going to be doing here is going through and adding some meat. And we're going to go through and take just, for every new piece of food that you take, it gives you an extra container that the food would come in. Now, if you have, say, for example, the marmot lung and the marmot intestines, it'll combine those into the same bag. But you can get a lot of really cheap containers by adding one of a whole bunch of different meats. So we've got marmots, we've got yak. Let's grab the yak liver. Peregrine falcon meat. Got some worm meat. It's disgusting. Some snail eyes. Got some capybara lung, heart, intestines, tripe. Grab the tripe. Some rat meat. Termite brains. Yeah, let's just have a look at I want to make sure that I grab a little bit of cloth and a little bit of silk. That's just in case we get those fey moods. We'll grab maybe 5 of each. And then I also want some sand. So we're going to grab just a little bit of each of the types of sand here. Sand comes in bags, so that's also useful. Okay, so we have 1 of each of the sands, and let's grab some additional booze here. Always need more booze. Let's see, what else can we grab that will be useful? What are we looking at for points? We have 221 points. See, did we grabbed thread, didn't we? No, we just grabbed cloth. We didn't actually grab thread, so let's grab some thread. I do want a rope. We're going to need that for a well, so let's grab... We can grab, okay, spider silk rope, that's fine. Now, it is helpful sometimes to start with some charcoal and some bituminous coal so that you can make a coke for metal crafting, but I'm not going to rely on having metal crafting. So I'm just going to fill up the rest of our stuff here with more foodstuffs. So this might take me a second. Bumblebee brain, honeybee brain, ant brain, beetle brain, fly brain. Oh, there's a lot of that stuff. Okay, let's also just have a look at what I did grab here. I think, yeah, I don't want that, so we're gonna. How do I delete? I forget how to delete an item. Subtract. There we go. That's right. Oh, we already do have some ropes here, so we don't need that other rope that I grabbed. We can get rid of that. What about that? We do have some pigtail cloth and thread also. So we could go without, but they're not terribly expensive, so we're just going to keep those. Let's grab a cave lobster. Let's grab a cave fish. Let's grab pond turtle. Sailfin molly. We can grab the yak meat. It's actually probably easiest if we just grab the meat variant of all the different stuff here rather than trying to grab, you know, yak livers and marmot lungs, and that's going to be just a pain in the butt. So we're just going to do it this way. So marmot meat. We're going to skip the chupacabra meat because it's more expensive. Basically, I'm just grabbing all the stuff that's 2. Crow meat, that's fine. Round gobbler meat. To make sure we have a lot of food here. I actually do want to grab some more some more rum and ale though too, because that stuff does come in handy, and it might take us a little bit to get our alcohol production up and off the ground. And some people do consider this cheating, grabbing just like one of a bunch of stuff, but I don't know. I don't think it's too terrible. Once we get in there, we might get some. Once we have a cooking operation up and running, we can cook a lot of this into prepared meals and then get the bags back, the bags and the barrels that all this food came in. That was kind of strange. It bugged on me. Meat. 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 Oh, keep doing that. Meat. Now, being that we are grabbing this much meat, we are going to want to get some cooking going pretty quickly, just to keep it from rotting before we can use it. I've almost got all the ones I want. Almost. Okay, now do we have anything on here that's one that we can grab some more of? Let's see. 1 point. We'll just grab another plump helmet spawn. That puts us at 0 points. Okay, so I'm going to save this particular embark here, because that's going to be a pain to have to go through again. So we have that embark saved. Now we need to name our fort. Bridge nourished. Bridge nourished. Wound beauty. 3 boots. Key channeled. Road gulfs. Roll gulfs. I kind of like that. Moral tongs. Stake fissure. The Nobleboulders. Oh, heck yes. Okay. We're going to take that. And let's name our group. We are going to be blanketed channel, the Stake of Stark, the Hairy Canyons. Great. Okay. And our symbol. Let's see. Let's get us. Shape, object. Shape can we do? Shape of a gem. Sure, we'll do a rose cut gem. Sounds interesting to me. 2 rose cut gems. And a half moon. Go X is surrounded by Y. The half moon is surrounded by 2 rose cut gems. Okay. We are done. And I think we're good to go. So we're going to hit the embark button here. It's going to save. And I'm actually going to come back with the next episode. Now that we've got our embark all set, we're going to actually start playing the game in the next one. So I'm going to be labeling this episode 00. Looks like we've been recording for 30 minutes plus about 10 minutes before. So this is going to be about a 45-minute video of me adding meat to a queue. So hopefully you'll come back for the next set, and we'll see you next time. Peace.